Shalom, is Levi Shore. Welcome back to Sweet and Good Torah. We're blessed with a special guest again, Rabbi Mordehay Darwish, and we're doing right before the coming Moshiach. The truth is going to be absent, and we love to hear from you. We want any Torah questions, Torah comments. If you like what we're doing, please like, share, and subscribe. Okay, we're going to jump right in here. Let me bring it up on the screen. We're jumping right back into Sanhedrin. Okay, so we're talking today about how before the coming of the Moshiach, the truth is going to be absent. And it says here, let me go back up here. Let me see where we're at. So it says, Ha'emes ni'aderes, the truth is going to wander away like a flock of sheep. The truth is going to be gone. And we got so much to talk about here. And then it brings up a pasuk from Yeshayahu, from it's the prophet Isaiah. It's chapter 59, and it's verse 15. It says, "V'tichi ha'emes nederes," that the truth is going to wander off, is going to be absent. Truth is going to be lacking. V'sar meira mish toleo, and those that turn away from evil, they're going to seem like they're foolish in the eyes of the world. Pretty scary stuff. Okay, I've seen a lot of examples. What do you got? What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like right now, if you just anybody like clicking around YouTube, looking on the internet, misinformation, who's telling you the truth and who's not. When people say it's fact checked, who's fact checking the fact checkers? And it really is a time where nobody knows anything unless they see it for themselves. We're living in an age of deep fakes. The computers could generate people looking images that tell us one thing and really are something else completely. So yeah, for sure, it seems like truth is not to be found. It's very difficult to decide what is true and what is not true right now. And also people who are trying to do good and really be good, genuinely good, an objective good, a godly good, are seen of as crazy. There's the move towards secularism and the anti-God movement.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I what I've been seeing in the media lately, it's mind-boggling. It's crazy. I mean, and I think if you look at the media, no matter if you're looking from the political left or the political right, it's just so biased, and it's all just to score points on the other side. And it's just like the media, it's just like they'll change they'll change what they said yesterday, like they never happened, and completely contradict themselves. It's just like crazy hypocrisy. I saw the most disturbing thing today. This was crazy. So like corporations in the past, they kind of they had a policy to like not be political, because like you want to sell to everyone in the country. And I just saw this. I mean, it's a commercial for Twix, the candy Twix. I think they're advertising it for Halloween, and they showed a nanny shows up at the door, and the nanny's a witch, and she's dressed in this like dominatrix type outfit. And then there's a young boy, and the boy wants to dress up as a princess. And this is all supposed to be good and whatever they're trying. I mean, it's just nuts. I mean, it's like the world is upside down. I mean, some people are just so brainwashed in this like lies coming out of me. It's so scary to watch it all. And I've seen friends post on social media, and they're so proud that like their political position is the same political position as the Church of Satan. It's like, if it doesn't give you pause that Satanists and Luciferians are agreeing with you on a certain issue, maybe perhaps on that issue, maybe you're seeing it wrong. It's just the truth is gone. It's completely nuts. I mean,
yeah, it comes back to like the censoring of kids, censoring people. When we were little, I mean, people got bullied as kids. If you smelled bad as a kid, people made fun of you. You smelled bad. If you were fat, people made fun of you. You were fat. Okay. And the truth was out there. And this whole movement to censor everybody, to make everybody sweet and soft and kind and caring, because it stemmed from a bad place, the place, like you're saying, Satan, it was clothed as something good, but it really was a sheep and a wolf in sheep's clothing. Okay, it looked on the outside as good, but it was really bad. It was clothed in really bad intentions.
Yeah, no, I think one of the prime, like Rabbi Akiva, he says the Klal Gadol of the Torah is v'achavta l'reacha kamocha, to love your friend like yourself. So like the essence, the emes, the truth of the Torah is that we should be, we try to see the best in people, and and we try to rise the standard of that mitzvah, that we should see the good in people. But it's strange because like I think in some ways you have this like media and this thing of telling people to like be kind to those like transgressing the Torah, like like, oh, this person's doing an avera, and you shouldn't say anything bad about that person. I do feel, right, I feel like
well, that's
people,
the problem. That's the
yeah.
problem. It extends once you take it to the fat and smelly person and whatever it is the other person's doing, wearing clothes that don't match, wearing whatever it is that you're censoring speech, then you can extend it to, oh, okay, this person is transgressing the Torah. It's fine. It's okay if he wants to lie. Okay, it's okay if he wants to cheat. It's okay if he wants to steal. It's okay if he wants to do some sexual abomination. It's okay because there is no truth. I got rid of the truth in the name of goodness, quote unquote goodness. But the goodness is like I said, it's a wolf in sheep's clothing. It's not a real goodness. It's not a genuine goodness. Okay, these people have made up their goodness, and that's their religion. And you said it about these corporations and all that stuff. They used to be bipartisan and, just toe the line in the middle, trying to appeal to everybody. But because something nefarious is going on, that nefarious thing is what's called the ESG scores, environmental, social, governmental scores, that each one is going to get like a rating where they're at, and the access to money for these corporations, which they need to survive from the government and from the banks, is going to be contingent upon that. There is something nefarious going on in all levels. And if people don't speak out on the truth, they're not going to. That's what this Gemara is saying. The truth will be lacking. It'll be hard to find. There'll be truth out there for sure for somebody who wants to be truthful and seek it, but it's not going to be very easily discernible. And then that will cause the person who wants to stay away from evil, true evil, objective evil, to be thought of as nuts. Okay, because there's no truth. Normally, he'd be thought of as a wise person. You're doing good. You're doing the right thing. You're wise. No, but now he's going to be thought of as crazy.
No, I think what's so dangerous is like the ultimate reality is Hashem. Like the ultimate reality is there's this infinite being, and he's created everything, and everything's in the center of this, infinite being. He's the hamakom, he's the place of the universe. So I think what's so dangerous is if someone can convince someone of atheism, if you can convince someone that Hashem doesn't exist, if you can convince someone that the ultimate reality, the ultimate truth is not real, then you can convince someone of anything now. And I feel like that's where we're at. So if you can convince these billions of people, like I don't know the exact measurement, but we live in a secular world almost, and the Torah is very like, most people are not familiar with the Torah, and even Chas v'Shalom, but most of the Jewish people are not so familiar with the Torah because we experienced it. We grew up in the public school system and went to university, and we weren't taught about Hashem, and taught all that's just not part of it. And if you can convince someone of atheism, that Hashem doesn't exist, then you can convince them of anything. Then you can convince them that bad is good and good is bad. And it just seems like that's where we're at. And I don't know. I don't want to see, I hope this is it. I hope this is the end. I hope we're really close to coming Moshiach, because it's so crazy. Okay, so let's see. So then, so it says, "My v'techi ha'emes nedera." So what does this mean? The Gemara asks, what does this exactly mean that the truth is absent? What does it mean? So it says, Amre debe Rav. So it taught in the yeshiva of Rav, in the study halls of Rav. So milamed shena'asis adarim v'holeches la. So it's saying like the people that are still holding on to the truth, they're going to have to form themselves into little groups, and kind of like remove themselves from the general society. And we're seeing that the general society of America, like what the media is putting out, what the movies are putting out, what the TV shows are putting out, the music, and it's just an absence of Hashem, absence of God, this total secularism. And we see like political parties becoming religions in themselves. And like you're almost going to have to remove yourself from society. It's just like madness. It's like, oh, there's not just men and women, there's 1 million genders, or whatever kind of madness of the day they want to push. And here's another, I saw, when we grew up, like I remember going to high school, and race and religion weren't such a big deal. Like we were all different races and religions, and we were just all friends. And like we are past all that. And I really believe, from my perspective, from the Obama administration, they hypercharged everyone again with racism. Like all of a sudden the country we were like moving beyond it, decade by decade. That's not the way I remember growing up in Gen X. Like we all just got along. It wasn't such a big deal. Yeah. And then Obama like supercharged the country that everything's racist again. It's just, it's nuts.
It's divide and conquer. It's divide and conquer. It's a strategy. There's a good KGB agent that's you can get his talk on the internet. I think it's Yuri Bezmenov. He was a defector. And he said that the goal of the Russians was to demoralize the nation, meaning to give them no God, no morals, or anything like that. And once that's done, they're pretty much conquered. There's going to be these half-baked intellectuals that are in positions of power, and they're going to be running the country. And what's going to happen is they're going to lead the country into the hands of the real enemies, the Marxists, the Leninists, and they're really going to take down the people they want to take down, depopulate who they want to depopulate, and create a new society where they're at the top and everyone else is at the bottom for real. And there's no, it's a new serfdom. There will be no way to move up or down the ladder. It's going to be in a slave society. This is where I think, my personal opinion is I think we're going. And when God rescues the Jewish people, as in all the prophets, all of Tanakh, this is where it's going. We will need rescuing. It won't be this chill atmosphere where we're going from, vacations and partying to, okay, let's all bring Moshiach right now. Let's just go up to Israel and bring Moshiach and bring the redemption, and then we build the temple and high-fiving everybody. It's going to take some struggle.
I hear what you're saying. I'm really hoping that like Hashem's just turning up the heat. And as we start to go into where, you're saying go into this abyss, the Jewish people start to do teshuvah, and we don't have to go into a gulag. But it's so crazy because like we both grew up and we saw the end of the Cold War. And I remember growing up and I was like, well, Russia, the Soviet Union, they have bread lines. The media is all propaganda. There's no middle class. There's like everything's expensive and it's just nuts. And right, and it's atheist, and it's like we won the Cold War, and this is where America is going. Like, how is this happening? Like, how is everyone voluntarily? Like, this is voluntarily. This is not even like it was a revolution like in the Soviet Union or in China. With Trotsky and Lenin in Russia, or like Mao Zedong, in China. This is just like happening through the media and Hollywood, and just people are accepting it. But I think there is starting to be a backlash. But it's like, there's literally bread lines now because of COVID. Like, the people, there's COVID boxes. You can get boxes of food. People, sit in the line for like an hour to get food. The supermarkets are packed, but sit in the line to get food, and just the government's paying everyone money, getting everyone, taking money from the government so people aren't self-sufficient. And the media is just total propaganda. And it's like, I don't even know if, it's hard to even have conversations with people sometimes, because it's just like, and another thing is like, we all read, or we were supposed to read like 1984 and Brave New World. I'm familiar with the Animal Farm. It's like, did anyone read this? Does anyone not see it? Like, this is,
no.
Slavery is freedom, like war is peace. Like, does anyone not see that? But there's people that don't see it. And they just eating up the propaganda, and just I can't, like, sometimes when I see my friends I grew up with, I can't believe what I'm hearing. It's like, Yeah.
Yeah, well, I used to call people stupid, all right, because they wouldn't see this. And then I got to eventually calling them sheep. And then I finally figured out what they are. They're programmed bots. These people don't think anymore. They're just being programmed through the TV, which is a television program, right? They're being programmed. They are programmed. They have no brain. They cannot use it. They are locked. They're enslaved. Okay, but the enslavement is not shackles to their hands and feet. It's shackles to their brain and their soul. And it's been happening over a long time, and it continues with our cell phones and all our screen devices. And this is exactly what the Gemara is saying. We will be enslaved. You know, you keep talking like maybe we'll do tshuva and everything will go away. I hope so too. But the madness out there doesn't seem to reveal that right now.
Yeah, I mean, on a Ruchnius level, like, you know, I mean, there's two forces. There's like the Sitra Kedusha, the side of holiness, you know, which is the Torah and the mitzvos. And Kedusha is like the positive spiritual energy coming into the world from Hashem. And then there's a Sitra Achra. There's the other side. There's the negative spiritual energy, you know, of Tuma. There's Kedusha and Tahara on one side. So I think the thing is, so the Gemara says our protection in these days is learning Torah, doing the mitzvos, and you know, and doing Gemilas Chasadim and doing kindness for other people. And this is that gives us a shield. When we're learning Torah, when we're doing the mitzvos, when we're doing kindness for other people, then we have a spiritual shield, and I think we're less like susceptible to this. But I think the problem is when people are totally immersed in the secular world and they don't have much attachment to the Torah, they're getting like, you know, overwhelmed with this. It's just washing over them, and they just can't see like the emes from the sheker. They can't see the truth from the lies, and it's just overwhelming people.
That's the way it was in Egypt. In Egypt, what happened was, you know, people were essentially free, and the ruling class found a way to enslave everybody, and it was through the money system, the class system.
Yeah. No, it's interesting that you bring that right. In Mitzrayim, in Egypt, we were actually enslaved. There's a one word that's task master, but the other one was the master of the taxes. That we were being taxed, and then we had to pay the tax back to the government, and we're seeing that here with, you know, the massive amount of taxation, you know, and then they want to do the carbon tax, you know, for the climate change, and like just taxes and they need an international tax and this tax and that, and just like, and that's how people can start to become enslaved. It's getting, it's very scary. All right, so let's just finish up here in the last part, and then we can keep talking about it. So Amrei Debei Rebbe Shila. So they said in the yeshiva, the academy of Rebbe Shila, Kol mish esar meira, that all those people that turn away from evil, mish tolel al brios, that the world, most of the people in the world think the people that are trying to move away from evil are crazy. You're insane. You believe in God, you're insane. You believe in morality, you're insane. You know, you're this, they're that. You know. I mean, and they're pushing like, oh, I don't hear. You can talk about it. I gotta catch my breath.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, I mean, anybody who doesn't call it out, and everybody's wishy-washy and saying, oh, there is truth is subjective, saying stupid things that absolutely don't make sense, and giving credence to people and not calling it out is just lending a hand to maybe there's credence to the other side. There's absolutely no credence to evil. Okay, it's awful. It's bad. Okay, man does not decide what good is. Man is not smart enough through the ages to decide what good is. If you were a German in Germany and you thought killing Jews was good, you were deemed a good person. Okay, man cannot decide what good is. It's arrogant. It's stupid. No society has ever done it. Hence, they've all fallen. Okay, the only arbiter of good and evil is the creator of the system. The creator of the system is God. Anybody who turns away from God is absolutely wrong. They're wasting their life, and they're putting the rest of us in danger. And that's what it was in Egypt. In Egypt, Paro was king. Might makes right. Those in power are correct. Those in power can tell us what our health should be doing, what we should do in our health, what our policy should be, getting access, all that stuff. those in power decide what's good for us. Well, who died and put them in charge? They did. We let them be in charge. Because if the masses rise up, those in power have no power. It's the problem is, and it always, and it was and always will be, is the masses not being able to come together because there's strength in unity, right? United we stand, divided we fall.
Yeah.
Right. That happens everywhere. When you have sports, when the team works together, they win. When they fight each other, doesn't matter how good they are, they're going to lose. And they found the perfect way to divide us. Social media, electronics, technology is the absolute way to divide us. And they've done a great job.
Yeah, no, so it's interesting. So in 1996 of the Hebrew calendar is when the Tower of Babel was. The Migdal Babel, the Tower of Babel, was in 1996. So what's interesting is in our Western calendar, which we're following now, which I really believe is the Gullus Edom. I believe it's like 2021 years of Gullus Edom. We see in 1996 of our current calendar is when the internet was publicly released. So, I mean, it's something very fascinating. So you talk about the Tower of Babel and all, everyone's language was confused. And now the internet, and you got all these people interacting all over the world, speaking different languages with different ideologies. And it's just this massive confusing conversation. And then people, like you see it on Twitter, you see it on other social media that, people aren't agreeing. They're fiercely, they're not civilly having a conversation. It's like, if you don't agree with me, you're evil, you're this, you're that. If you're not in my group, you're wrong, And so, right. So we see the Tower of Babel right now, and we don't see the fix yet until Moshiach comes in with the Messiah, the fix, starting to show people like the truth, like we're all, connected through this infinite being that's created us all, that loves us all. We're all connected, but all we see right now is a disconnection, and we can't agree on anything. And right. So only through the perspective of Hashem, this infinite being outside of time and space, who's created time and space, who's not biased. But it's like you're saying, like we're very influenced by our society. It's very difficult because we each have our own biases. We have our own emotions clouding sometimes, how we perceive things. We have our biases clouding how we perceive things. And without like the light of the Torah, without this clear, absolute, like this is good, this is evil, we can get exactly what you said. Like we can get caught up in whatever society thinks is good or evil at that day, on that day, in that year, in that time. And it's been, in the Soviet Union, it was atheists and it was no morality, and in Nazi Germany, it was total evil. But everyone in that society at the time, they just went along with the flow. It's very easy to go along with the flow of society. It's very hard. Yeah, it's very, they all thought they were doing good when they're caught up in it. When you're caught up in everyone before the flood, thought, we're doing just fine, and that's just it. We're in this scary time right now where the truth is absent. And I hope it starts but you know what? I do feel like people are starting to wake up, because I see when the Biden administration is pushing these really crazy things, his popularity is dropping every week. And there's starting to be more and more vocal opposition to what's going on. I think it is starting to wake. It's starting to jar people. It's starting to wake people up. It's like, wait, this is too far. Wait a second, what? Like, what are you doing? But it's a, great Simon. Like, if your opinion lines up with the Church of Satan, maybe, just maybe that's wrong. Maybe you should take a second thought there. It's like, oh, the Luciferians and the Satanists agree with me. Oh, maybe I better think about that again, and people don't even see that. Like when did that become good? Like, is that, how crazy is that? Probably like, oh my God. Okay. I don't know. So maybe,
well,
I hope we're close. I mean, I can't take much more of this, like, lies and the stuff. Okay, what were you going to say?
Yeah, there's, they propagandize and put in people's heads what I think Aleister Crowley said, do what art thou will. And that's what the Satan, like you said, the Satan, the serpent, the evil inclination, the dark side wants you to do. Follow your instincts, enjoy, have fun, don't think morally, be an animal, be like the rest of the animals, be like the beasts, except you got a brain, do it better than the beasts.
Yeah.
Okay, make that Twix bar. Okay, create that Papa John's pizza.
Yeah.
You know, drink that Coke. Okay, do that bad thing. You know, commit that adultery. It feels good. Do what art thou will. You
That's
know, and
scary.
they brainwashed people to do that, and then that's what the serpent did. He brainwashed humanity to leave God. You're smarter than God. You'll be like God. You'll know good and evil. Okay, that's what he told. That's what he told Chava and Adam. He brainwashed them into thinking that the true God has their bad interests in mind, and really their good interest is to follow him. And anyone who thinks otherwise is just an idiot. I'm right here, right now on YouTube, calling every single person who goes against God an absolute idiot. Not smart. They may be intelligent. They may be quick. Okay, but they're stupid. They're not wise. Okay, I'm sorry for doing this. I don't mean anything by this. Okay, they are absolute stupid. Okay, and we cannot be bashful about it. We have to call it out, because the people who don't call it out will be held responsible for not calling it out, for giving credence to evil.
I hear what you're saying about, speaking up for the truth, but I personally, I feel like people are just brainwashed, and they're just so turned around, and deep down, like, if they could hear the emes, it's gonna fall off. It's like Sheker has no legs to stand on. So the brainwashing is gonna fall away. I don't know. I mean,
they couldn't. You don't get it. In Egypt, they couldn't hear the truth.
We were stuck. I mean, we were stuck.
They were stuck. They were enslaved. They were enslaved. Their souls were shackled. Their bodies were shackled. They were too much caught in the rat race. Okay, they were running around, work home, work home, work home. They couldn't think. There was no time. Parsa said they have time to think. Make the work harder on them.
And people are working crazy long hours, busy schedule. You're running carpool. You're doing this. So people are like overworked, don't have a lot of time to think. When they have a second to think, they pop on like Netflix or the news or that. So it's never time to just relax. But then again, there's more people getting, I don't know, there's good and there's bad. There's people getting into meditation, trying to relax. Here's where I'm at. I mean, Bezrat Hashem sent a Moshiach soon. We can hear the voice of Torah and the truth again, and it's just going to blast away the darkness. And it's the Or of Torah, the light of the Torah, the light of Hashem, the Or Ein Sof, the light of the infinite being, the infinite light will blast away this darkness. Bezrat Hashem soon. I don't know. Any last comments, or
that's
should we
good.
end it there?
All
right, we'll end it there, and we hope to see you back again soon. Thank you. Thank you.